Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode six. Is it six? Episode six of Night Shift. I am here with Midnight Slide. Soon to be. You're gonna go through a rebrand, aren't you?
I will. That's later.
Okay, we're gonna say that for later. We're gonna go through a rebrand over here, and I'm Nocturnal, and today we're gonna be talking about religion. Just our thoughts, really, what we think of religion. Because you're atheist, correct?
Hard
atheist, like rough. And I grew up in a Christian home, and I will call it a loose relationship with God, and that's what I'm gonna. It's very loose. It's more my perspective of what I believe God is and faith and blah 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 blah. But we'll get into that right now. So you have to enjoy it, and if you're ready to see some good content from us, we're about to be pumping shit out. I'm excited.
Oh yeah. All right. So I'll start off, and I'm gonna make my position on it very, very clear.
I know.
Religion is idiotic. It does not make sense. It is something that we should have left in the Stone Ages. I find that the fact that a lot of majority of decisions are being not based around religion, but a lot of political government decisions and shit are being made, and religion is a factor. The fact that that is a reality pisses me off. But all the while, it's not called science, it's called faith. So I realized that I'm pretty sure the human race will always have some sort of faith. It doesn't have to be logical. Despite all the facts I can throw at somebody who is super religious or even mildly religious. The point is, it's called faith. So you can't ever tell them, show me proof. Because of course they're just gonna respond back with, show me proof that there's no God. So I mean, ultimately, it's called faith, so I just have to learn to live with it. But just gonna throw that out there. That is my position. I grew up Catholic too, not just Mexican, because most Mexicans or most Hispanics grow up Catholic, not just Christian. Catholic, which I call super Christian. But around 14 to 16, I started reading for myself. And I was like, nah, this shit's gay. So I'm going to be an atheist. And then later became a nihilist, but that's more in college. Because, of course, college always makes people super liberal. Anyway.
Yeah. Religion is very interesting for me, only because, again, at one point, I didn't believe in God. That was mostly around high school. Because I was like, there's a God, he wouldn't put me the shit I was going through in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody's supposed to be all powerful, supposed to be able to save you from any type of hurt or pain. Why would he put me through this amount or immense amount of pain that I was going through in high school? But I think what changed my perspective, at least for me, I grew up Christian, so I grew up believing in God. I had not even I had a choice to believe in God. It was more, this is the path my parents gave me, and again, I had the choice of changing it, which is funny because I don't think my dad's really, my mom's side of the family, that's super religious, super Christian, and my dad just live your life, do whatever the fuck you want. So
good dad.
I'm literally a mash of those two, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm more of my dad, I'm gonna live too, which is why I do what I do, because I'm not gonna change personally to fit into this box of what faith is supposed to be. Because again, like you were saying, how what religion being in state debates and anything that has to do with voting, presidency, any of that's retarded to me. That's so stupid. Because at the end of the day, faith is not fact, in my opinion. It's not fact. But I do believe in God. So it's weird. It's weird because I believe not more of the fact that there's something there that it's not making choices for me, but it's there watching. If that makes sense. But I have free will. That's what I take from God. God gave me free will to do what I choose, and the consequences are for me alone, not for anyone else. So everyone's saying, well, God will save me. Da, da, da. Nope. That's bullshit. Let's throw that shit away.
Yeah.
whatever choices you make as a person, and again, this is all opinion based. The Christian starts shouting from the heaven.
You've been getting an angry letter from your pastor, bro.
I probably will, but like religion for me, more my faith with God has to do with me. I can talk to Him in a way of like, this is the choices I'm gonna make. So I hope you know what's about to go down. I have to deal with the decisions I make as a person. He's just there watching me, or he, she, whoever it is. Because again, God cannot be proven. Again, like you said, faith. I believe that there's someone there, but I don't believe that He's gonna change anything to make something easier for me. Or everything's a grind. Everything depends on how you work, how you move. So for me, you got to make moves. You got to make choices. A lot of people feel like they can sit down, lay down. Oh, God's gonna save me. God got me. Nothing moves without action.
Yeah.
That is fact. Nothing moves without action. It doesn't matter if it's a shake of the ground, a pebble, whatever it is. You have to make action for something to move. God is not gonna move for you. And that's why most people think I'm atheist, because like I don't believe God's gonna change me or is gonna make choices for me. Well, how can you be trans if God made you how you were supposed to? No, this is my choice. I chose to do this. That's how it is, you feel me? I don't know, but I think why I hate religion so much and why I don't think of me believing in God as a religion more as me believing in a higher power. I guess I hate religion because it forces people to be like for example, Jehovah's Witnesses. Don't come to my house on Saturday at the break of dawn, knocking at my door, talking about, do you know God? I hate that shit. I don't want your pamphlets.
I don't want your pamphlets. They always
come on, bro. You know damn well they come with the little. Hi, how you doing? I'm Gene. Here's my pamphlet. Go ahead and read through. Nigga, I'm get off my doorstep. Do not come back. That's the type of nigga I am. Though I believe in God, get off my doorstep. I don't know. I think religion has to do more the beholder, which you like you have a firm fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Like 100%. Where mine is like, I'm gonna do what I want, and I'm gonna believe that someone is watching over me and knows where I'm going, but that's not gonna save me from the choices that I made. You know what I mean? Okay. So it's loose. It's not, he gonna save me. I gotta give money on my offering plate. Let's talk about that.
Oh God.
Offering. I hate that shit.
And churches all religion in the United States is tax exempt, so they can take as much offerings as they want and not get taxed a single penny.
Not a penny.
So autistic.
My thing is, and they do this in Christian churches a lot, where they're like, bring your tithes. This is gonna sow your seed into the
Bring
church.
Your tithes.
Blah blah blah. Why should I work hard for my money? I can't write this shit off my taxes.
True story.
I'm gonna get
real quick. True story. This is gonna be completely legitimate too.
Okay.
One time I was in church, and this is like I'm in junior year of high school. My God is gone from my mind at this point. And they were doing tithes and offerings, and they passed it around and shit. I was chewing gum. I took the dirtiest $1 bill in my wallet, spit my gum inside the bill, wrapped that up, put it in there. Continue.
Bruh.
Very proud of that moment.
I bet you are. But this nigga's funny, dude. This nigga, the dirtiest, crinklest one you had.
Like that one bill that the guy at the gas station gives you. That's the one I gave them.
Bro.
And you know something? The greedy ass probably took the time to uncrinkle it, spread the gum out, scissor that gum off, and still use the bill.
Hell yeah. I think tithes and offering are, and it's pretty much, it's free money. I'll say this. I have a pastor. She had Bentleys, all types of just nice cars. that came from the church's money. You can't tell me they didn't come from the church.
Yeah.
All she did was be a pastor. And you would think people would catch on to these. They're not even scams. You're doing this with. You're willingly giving your money to someone so you can sow your tithe to the Lord when they don't have that direct contact to God. It's people put their faith in the wrong things, and that's why faith is so fucked up to me.
Yeah.
Like, if you believe in God, then have your faith in God, and that's it. Why do you have to put your faith in a pastor who has faith in God? Like, why? This is not the presidential debates where we send our vote to our people and then they vote for what we want. No, if you have faith in God, then just have faith in God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why? That's like, for example, let's say I'm like, okay, I like playing with mid, but I'm like, okay, I gotta watch mid play to play when I can just play with them, right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would I watch you play unless like to give you bits or something? Like, why do I watch you play when I can just play with you? You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Why would I give money to you when I can keep my money and still have the same faith?
Yeah.
Right? I think people get it confused, like, well, if I do this, I'll be closer to God, or blah, 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 blah. No, somebody just wants your money so they can make their church bigger, so they can get more money and then buy nice cars and live
Yeah.
off your money.
Televangelists. Those people who are on TV.
Yeah.
And I saw this one on, and it pissed me the fuck off. I saw this once, and it was like a guy who was like, listen, how much you got in the bank? About $1,000? Give it to me. It's not enough money to pay your rent anyway. Put that seed in the ground, watch God do his work, and reap the rewards. I'm like, oh, go fuck yourself, dude. Go fuck yourself.
What?
You're finna take somebody's entire bank account and make them feel ashamed about it because it's not enough for rent, but it's good enough to give to you. Go fuck yourself, dude.
Exactly. And those are the type of people that, for me, ruin religion. Because, like I said, I don't care what type of background you have. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you. Or else, if I was those type of Christians, I'd be like, he's an atheist, I can't hang with her. You know, all that type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're a decent human being, I will treat you with respect. But those type of people turn me all the way off. I hate it. I hate people who judge off the back just by what you look like, your religion, etc., etc. I hate that shit. It's something where in churches you're more judged in churches than you are anywhere else when it comes to religion.
Yeah.
Church is supposed to be the place that you're supposed to be safe, where everybody believes in God and blah blah. That is the worst place to go if you believe in God. Facts, 100%. Yeah. Imagine walking in the church. I've seen this dude come to church. He's obviously gay. Okay, obviously. I'm talking about flamboyant as shit. Goes in the church. He used to go to my church. He used to sit in the back, and he used to dance. That's all he did. That was his praise to God, right? Which again, if that's his praise, let him praise, whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's on him. He used to dance in the back of the church, and I could see the ushers like laughing and whispering at him. And he obviously did not give two shits because he prayed and then left. He wouldn't even stay for the word because he already knew, like, he couldn't take all that.
Yeah.
My thing is, it's places like church that make people lose their faith in God or lose their faith in anything. Like, well, you know what I mean? Because that's the place where you're supposed to go, where everybody's supposed to believe the same things and shit like that.
Yeah.
You all are talking about the same thing. You're talking about loving the same. That's the one place where you guys are all trashing each other in one building. It's like a cockfight in that bitch. My faith is bigger than your faith. And
yeah.
It's like, who cares? That's why you're losing all your money to that one pastor who's taking all your money and y'all all bitching over whose faith is bigger. Come on, dude.
Hold up.
At the end of the day, for me, that's what ruined faith. The fact that people choose to hate each other rather than love each other, all because they want to know whose faith is bigger and all that bullshit. It's dumb.
Anyway, So pretend like that didn't happen. Pretend like we didn't have technical difficulties with that.
I don't even know what
So
you're talking
ultimately, you know, for me, I think if a lot more religious people were, at least not okay. Let me like differentiate. I respect the world's religions, Hinduism, Confucianism, and shit. Anything that's not like God, Jehovah based.
Oh, okay.
When we get to Muslims, Judaism, Christianity, and Catholicism, that's where I get the most irritated. And I do agree, because you made this point. Those people, not like what the four that I mentioned, but like super hyper religious people ruin religion for the rest of the world. They ruin the concept of faith because they make it seem so greedy. They make it seem so power based.
Yeah.
But that's what like Dark Owl said. But what I contend is those four religions I just mentioned ruined religion for the rest of the world. Like, if I want to see either artificial intelligence or an alien species, somebody completely non-biased, a non-biased point of perspective, not human tainted, come to Earth and just examine. The first thing I want them to do is just examine religion and tell us their thoughts, because I think that they would agree that religion can be a good thing because it keeps people calm. Because death is scary. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Death is scary, and it keeps people hopeful. Like, all right, well, just because I'm having a bad time now doesn't mean I'm gonna have a bad time forever. So those two things, positive things that, of course, you know, just having some confidence in yourself would do. But religion is helpful. Religion can definitely help you, and it provides a sense of community, yada yada. But point being, those four religions, the ones based around this, I'm gonna call them Jehovah, because different religions call him the same thing. But I think Jehovah is like one thing that all of them call God, is that the fact that like they have this mission, and I don't know the history of it, but they have this mission that they need, that it is their responsibility, their duty to spread their religion.
Yeah.
And this next part is key, by whatever means necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Missionaries, the Inquisition, the Crusades, just straight up forcing this religion. And now a lot of them are like, that's the biggest thing, when they get to brag about the fact, oh, you should believe in Christianity. Why should I? It's no bigger, there's no more proof that it's the, you know, correct religion than any other religion. But they get to respond with, oh, but it's the biggest one in the world. Well, yeah, your fucking predecessors forced that by guns, chain, and just by pure luck, having the ability to create steel. The first like metal components were all like in Europe. So yes, you were able to force your religion. And now that your predecessors did all the blood and work for it to force all these religions on everywhere across the globe, now you get the benefit of saying, oh yeah, we're the biggest. Yeah, not by fucking choice. You didn't take a Bible to Africa and calmly expect people to show up in your church. No, you showed up. You sent a priest to Africa. You also sent soldiers with guns and bullets to places that had probably spears and stone swords. I don't want to hear that shit about, oh, we're the biggest, so that means we're most likely the most right. It's by pure luck. Had guns been manufactured first in India, we'd all be praying to Ganesh and Hinduism. Okay? I don't want to hear that bullshit. Okay? I just don't want to hear that bullshit. It's all just fucking... You got lucky. That's the easiest thing. You got lucky that steel just happened to be invented in your country first. Whoever, pretty much, I think I know this is like a little bit off religion, but whoever gets the best weapons gets to make what's right and wrong. Because you force your abilities, you force your point of view on everybody else. And I think that that's why religion has such a bad taste. Like, had those four religions not existed, I probably still wouldn't believe in religion, but I would have a lot higher opinion of people who preached it and who did actively pursue it than I do right now. Especially because we're in America. America, it's Christianity or nothing. It's funny that Catholics, Muslims, and Jewish people are all persecuted by Christians, but those three are the older versions of Christians. That's where it came from, and Christians just don't see it like that. if they look down on Jewish people, they look down on Muslim people, they look down on Catholics, like, oh, it's only the ethnicities, the minorities that praise those. But that's where your religion comes from, and that just pisses me off. So the point of all of this is, for me, is like Christians, but like all four of those religions, but Christians in particular, I am so fucking hateful of, because they have such a dirty history, and they somehow find the nerve to brag about it. Pisses me the fuck off.
It's funny, we talked about this the last time we tried to record this, but religion was used for fear, 100%. Yeah. When religion first came around, it's for fear, until they decided to separate church and state, which again, that's what should have happened. But again, they still today, when you look at presidents and stuff like that, people use, okay, well, what's their religion? And that's what they base their choices off as well. It's not like it went anywhere. It's still there. And also, just piggybacking off the weapons and stuff like that. Ooh, shit, almost burped. Excuse me. Piggybacking off those weapons, though. Like you said, had it been created in India, it would have been. It's funny to think that depending on where anything was created or anything was built, anything that in the next ruler, the best ruler, the biggest armies, whatever it is, that's what made the changes. Like if you go back in time and think, okay, well, what if this happened instead of this, or you know what I mean? They can make such one of the biggest changes in the world. So with religion, anyway, picture there was like never religion that came up until now. You know what I mean? Like how much different would the world be because they didn't have religion? You know what I mean? Like you talked about how religion is like, it's good only for the fact that it gives people faith and gives people calmness and stuff like that, which I do agree. But at the same time, I also think religion can divide, which is why I don't really call what I have as is religion. I base it off faith, but I don't call myself a Christian. One, because of those main reasons you spoke of, like greed, people feeling the need to wash people with, well, if you don't believe in God, you're going to hell type shit. Like that's borderline annoying. Or take me there, I don't care. Like it's just people who feel the need to force someone to do something 100% turns everyone else off.
Yeah.
I remember this so clearly. It was me, Angel, and his brother, and like one of my other friends, and we went out to eat. We're walking outside, and this lady comes up, and she's like, "Hey, you guys look like some good young men, blah, 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 all this stuff." And I just was like, "Oh, thank you, you know, whatever." And she was like, "So do you guys believe in God?" And automatically, Cass and all the rest of them just was like it was just real uncomfortable, like from jump. So I was the only one that was just like chilling. Mm-hmm. I was like, "Yeah, I do. I don't know about I do. What about you guys?" They're like, I was like, "If they don't believe it, you don't need to be telling them all that stuff." But she right away was trying to throw us into some prayer circle. I was like, "Nah, we're good. Thank you very much." You know what I mean? And she like was pestering us to the point I was like, "Lady, fuck off." I was like, you know what I mean? Like, and she was like, "I was just trying to teach you guys about the love of God and blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Okay, but we're good. I told you, we good." And that's where I draw the line when it comes to, and again, it's mostly Christians. And it sucks because that's where my faith based off from, because that's where I grew up. But like the more I read the Bible, I looked at all this bullshit in it. There's good things in it too, but most of it's horse shit. I'll be honest. Yeah. It's so horse shit. Like it's just like fairy tale stories and like yo, the shit they got
there. Was a magic man who made one fish and one jug of wine to last 11 days, man. That's facts. If you're Christian, you have to believe that. And miracles just don't happen nowadays. Like they were happening left and right in that book. But nowadays, God just wants you to. He just wants you to
funny.
find the strength in yourself. You know, He doesn't have to perform miracles to prove it. You just gotta believe it.
But it's funny because if you look at the Bible before the Bible was anything, by the story, you got to think, where did the Bible come from?
Yeah.
Where did these stories come from? It came from somebody telling the story to somebody else.
Yeah.
Right? And then that story was told to somebody else. Until one day somebody said, all right, I'm going to write the Bible down. Somebody wrote the Bible down. Then somebody was like, I don't see it like that. I see it this way. I'm going to write the Bible down. That's why you have different versions of the Bible.
Yeah.
But you got to think, all these stories that are in the Bible are from hundreds of thousands of different people.
Yeah.
The Bible cannot. That's why you can't base your life off a book that was written by 100 to 20
people
men.
Not only base their lives, but like not their lives, but people go to war over that shit.
Thousands,
millions of people have died over this fucking book that in no way, shape, or form, not even like the people in the Bible, like literally, I believe in the Bible, they say that the Bible was written by God whispering in people's ears. But people who don't believe that will just look at that and go, okay, so the Bible, which is supposed to be the word of God, was written by man. If God was so all powerful, why wouldn't He not have just floated down a fucking book?
Exactly.
Like,
and that's my thing, and that's a lot of the things that are written in the book. I take, like, when I was younger, I took them with such grain of salt. Like, talking about a little. All right, take this part, and the Christians hate that, but it's facts. My aunt, she's apostolic, which means she believes in like multiple religions, right? So I know the ones I know that she believes in is like Hinduism, she's Christianity, but it's like she takes pieces of the religions and that's what she believes in. She's like, I believe the God's in the air, God's in the wind. That's it. That's her belief in God, and that's all she believes in. But then she also believes in peace, like from Buddhism and stuff like that. I'm not like that. I ain't got all them religions packed up in my backpack, but that's her. Everybody has their different religion. My parents, my grandpa, I hated that. Hated it. He's like, you have to be Christian. She's like, nah, fuck that. But like, people, especially Christians, hate when you pick apart the Bible. But you got to think, if you technically read the Bible, the church was not in a building, right? If we want to get technical, church wasn't in a building. Church was by a river.
Jesus wasn't born on December 25th.
That too. Don't get me started on that either. Like, that's the day of Santa. Everybody fuck off. All right.
Yeah, just call it Santa. Don't call it Jesus' birthday. It's in the book that he was not born on that day. So I don't know why you're coming at me with that bullshit.
It's just a lot of things that people like. They believe what they want to believe, and that's what makes religion faith-based, because everyone's gonna take what they want from that book. I personally do not take most of the things from that book.
Yeah, that's
because like I said,
agree with that. Like, everybody takes what they want.
To the pastor, they're supposed to go to what are they fucking called? I don't remember. The tithe that you put in the offering don't even go to the church. They go somewhere else. You feel me? Like, there's stuff in the book that you guys are, well, you got to do your tithe and offering. I was like, well, shit, in the book, you don't say it go to the church. So I don't even know what you're talking about. There wasn't even a building in that motherfucker. So I don't even know what you mean. I'm supposed to be by the beach reading the book, you feel me, with the pastors. And again, it wasn't even like, there's a lot of stuff that happens in the book that people were like, this what happened, that what happened. I was like, well then shit, this don't add up with what's going on right now, what we doing in this state of moment. Like, there's always a verse that people like to pick out, the main verses, which is the one about my body's the temple and blah, blah, blah. Like, this is why you shouldn't have tattoos. Hate that one. I'm like, fuck y'all. I do what I want. I hate that one. It's the, fuck. I gotta remember it. Because I don't read the Bible like that anymore. But it's, that rod, that shaft shall come from me. Oh, yeah.
This one is one of my favorites. Thou shalt not lay with another man as you would a woman. And if you do, stone him. Mm-hmm. Stone him. You're fucking kidding me.
But this is what your God is saying. Like I said, the book is so funny to me because you can tell it's written by multiple different people.
Yeah.
You can tell that each chapter is somebody else's perspective. This is just a book made by multiple people, shoved into one book, and then just laid out for everyone to read. And this is the words of God. No, in the past, oh, well, I'm the enlightened one. God speaks to me. Shut the fuck up. You are some dude on top of the pyramid that wants control and is using God as your way in.
Yeah.
And that's how they did it. And it's still today, pastors use that. Oh, I'm because you read the book well, a book written by 150,000 different people, different stories handed down, and it's funny because if you think of the game Telephone, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I may say one thing, but by the time it gets to the other end of the circle, it's not going to be the same. It is the same thing about the book. It's you could tell somebody else's beliefs are thrown into this book, and then they pushed it out and say, God told me this. And that's why, especially that lie down with men one, I'm like, y'all niggas, come on, bro.
What there's a certain like another part of that, like there's a certain culture. I'm not sure. I'm pretty. It's not all Christians, so I'll say that at least. But there's a certain subculture who straight up refuse medicine. They refuse hospitals and shit on the basis that God will heal us. Yeah. I'm like, oh, you fucking. And there's like, okay, you want to kill yourself by measles? Go ahead. You want to kill yourself by a previously cured disease? Go ahead. But their children who have not been able to make the choice for themselves are also exposed to these diseases, and they die because of it. And at that point, that's where I have to question the whole like morality of these people at all, for the fact that like that you really believe from what was written in this book that it was written like a game of telephone. He said, she said, he said, she said, he said, she said. By the time it gets to, it's already warped, it's already twisted, it's already influenced by people's decisions and interpretations and perspectives, that you're willing to put your own kid at risk off your belief in this book. Which, by the way, is not only just like edited by the people who wrote it hundreds of thousands of years ago, but there's different editions. King's Bible, King James edition. There are different like editions for that, which are also changed. It's so retarded.
And again, and I can see that in the future still being altered. Well, this one's for it to be read better, blah, blah. No. You can't tell me you didn't change words or change. Like, you could, I've read Bibles side by side and seen the differences in them. They may be slight or they may be drastic, but again, there's changes. And the changes will not stop just because it's 2020. Religion will continue to evolve just like anything else evolves in life. So it's funny to me that people will put their faith in other people instead of putting their faith, for me personally. At the end of the day, this is what I'm trying to get to. If you believe in God, then believe in God solely. Like, if that's what you want to believe in, right? But don't put all your faith in somebody else and give your money to somebody else instead of solely putting your faith in God. You do not need to go to church to believe in God or like have some type of closer connection to God. If you want to believe in God, then believe in God solely for you. You do not need to do any extra bullshit that you guys are that churches try to put out, or all these other people. But you need to go to church and you need to go to Bible study. I'm not spending my life in church. I'm sorry. I'm not. For something I could do at home. I can do whatever I want at home.
Yeah, but these people make you feel guilty. Like, you're not a true believer unless you come to my building, because if they don't have a certain amount of people in that building, then they just fucking foreclose, because they're dealing with the same human problems that God won't save them from as their followers.
Exactly. And I hate going back to offerings because this shit kills me. Do not send that plate around more than once. You got me fucked up.
At the beginning, middle, and end.
Bro, I remember one day at church, we did like worship, like half the church, which is fine because I like music, so I wasn't bugging. It's like, cool, they playing music, they singing. It's like they singing good today. Everybody's in their spirit, they feeling it, which again didn't bother me. I was just like, all right, I just like good music. But they sent the plate around the first time. I was like, all right, let me go ahead and put $1 in so my mom don't kill me. Because I just want to put the $1 in, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
That bitch came around the second time. I said, no. My mom looked at me. I was like, Put another dollar in. When that plate came around the third time, I said, "You got fucked up. I'm not doing that." My mom was mad as hell, and I gave no fucks. I said, "Tripping." And when I tell you, looking at this plate, people dropping 20. I saw somebody put 100 in there. You feeling the spirit that much?
Yeah.
Not that much. I got bills. You tripping?
Yeah, like say there's a church filled with like 30 people, right? And each person puts in, because some people put in $1, some people put in 5, some people put in 10, some people even put hundreds. But let's say, for example, each person puts in a 5. Instantly, you've got $150, and you pass that shit around 3 times, so you're up to $450, and that's one session. $450 in like a 2-hour session, and then you break for a couple of hours and do it again and again and again. Sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but ultimately you're making thousands of dollars a day that cannot be touched by the government. So that's just straight cash. Not like if we made a few $1,000s in a day, we'd have to be like, all right, $3,000, but taxes included, that's around $2,200. No, that straight $3,000 straight. And even worse, pastors and like high ministers can get paid a salary, can have their living expenses paid for by the church. But everybody lower than that is volunteer based. Retarded as fuck. That is straight corruption.
If you're gonna make it a place where people are gonna make money, then everybody working in that motherfucker should get paid.
Yeah.
But no, you see the backup pastor, the regular pastor, the musician in the band, all them making money. Everybody there.
Yeah.
The usher to keep your service running, making sure nobody interrupts you while you speaking. All that shit, they don't get paid a cent. They just doing it for the Lord. Nope. I need my paycheck. You're not taking my Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday and not paying me. It's my side job. Go ahead and give my money. Got me fucked up.
Yeah.
I ain't wearing this for nothing. White glove, fucking tight ass, fucking. Woo, let me stop.
And here's another point I want to add about religion. And this is more so because I said at the beginning, I don't think there's a single way. I don't think it's possible for religion to ever be gone, even if, for example, people are like, all right, well, let me say this first, okay? I don't think religion will ever go away because it's faith. It's faith-based. It's not logic-based. There's nothing that can happen that will take away people's faith because they don't need logic to believe it. So people would assume like, okay, well, when aliens come, you'll see, because the Bible has no mention of aliens. So you would think, okay, well, when aliens come, at some point, this is not, of course, not anywhere in the future, but like thousands of years from now, when aliens come, people will be like, okay, well, aliens aren't in the book, but they clearly exist. How do you explain that? On the flip side, but what I would retort for that would be, the Bible doesn't include dinosaurs, but they explain dinosaurs like, oh, the devil's tricking us. The devil's trying to trick us. He put those in there. He put dinosaur bones in there, so we would doubt the Bible. So I'm gonna assume people will assume a similar fucking explanation. Yeah, they'll come up with some other similar bullshit when aliens come. Oh, God's testing us. These people, these creatures, these other alien life forms, it's just the devil's way of testing us and tricking us. Okay, but here's the thing. For me, you ever watch Neil deGrasse Tyson? He is so fucking scary to watch because he'll just explain how vast the universe is. He's one of those people who like make you feel super tiny, like that thing where like you start at the top of your house, and the more you zoom out, the bigger it gets, and you just feel so tiny. He's like, all of his talks are like that. And so the point being is that religion was created when all people knew was the earth. They didn't even know what the moon was. Like, they just thought the moon was just some flat disc that touches the sky, right? Mm-hmm. But as we, of course, science progressed, we know just how small we are. And the moment that we find another alien life form, and we'll get to compare, because, of course, I'm pretty sure the other alien life forms will probably likely also have religion, and their form of faith. And there'll be a clash and everything, but my point for everything is, like, I don't understand how science and religion coexist. For the fact that, like, science can be proven, science can be touched, science has done things for religion. Science has done more for the human race than religion has in the past 100 years than religion has in the past 2,000-3,000. Because again, religion can help people feel safe, help people feel comfortable, help people feel at peace. Again, religion can also, give money to the poor, give food to the people who need it, offer shelter during crises. But science straight up prevents that. It can prevent diseases. It can tell us when certain weathers and shit, other disasters will come, and so we can move out the way, take precautions towards it. So ultimately, for me, that's like, I wanted to share, that's like my biggest confusion, is that like, as much as we know and will continue to know, religion will adapt, but ultimately it doesn't adapt to be more welcoming. It adapts in like, okay, what more can we do to survive? So, okay, we need more money, send that tithes and offerings 4 times. We need more followers. Bro, that country, that continent right there, that looks pretty light. Like, let's go over there. We need more fucking pages. Let's put out a new edition of the book. It's like science and religion, I don't see how they coexist. But religion just adapts in all the wrong ways. It doesn't become more welcoming. It's not like, all right, well, you can be Christian and LGBT. They don't accept that still. For the most part, the mainstream Christian base has not accepted that. Okay, well, if you're not going to be more welcoming, can you stay out of politics? No. We need to know what religion our politicians are, so they can make decisions that affect non-religious people by religion. Okay. Yeah. So that, like, it's just frustrating, honestly. It's just frustrating to me. I can never, and I respect people who are religious, especially people around me, but it's just those people who go out of their way to push it on you, make you feel guilty, and ignore their, like, if religious people were just to acknowledge how shitty they've behaved in the past thousands of years, I think that would go a long way to revamping how the world sees Christians, because the United States is pretty much known as like the Christian base. That's the Christian country, and it would go a long way to revamp what the world sees it as, because most people will just view it as white conquerors. That notion, that idea has not left people's minds in the world, and for good reason. White conquerors is just the name of the game for the past few hundred years.
I think at the end of the day, it's going to take new generation Christians to change everything.
They have to change everything.
They have to. If it's going to do any good religion to change anything, it had to be new generation. It cannot be old generation. Old generation are stuck in their ways. They believe that, well, I say this because a lot of the Christians that I know have no issues with gay people at all. Because it's just the climate you grew up in, especially in places like Cali, any highly West Coast areas.
Liberals,
like, LGBT is like easy. It's like, all right, whatever. Again, that's a whole topic in itself, which again, we should probably do that, but that's a whole topic in itself. But I think new generation is what's going to be able to push any type of good that could come out of religion. Has to be new generation. I will say this though, the church I used to go to, the pastor used to be hella anti-LGBT. I'm talking about like rough. And I was sitting there like, you think I'm about to keep coming to this bitch? What are you talking about? Leaving. And I left. I dead ass was like, I'm not going there. I told him, I said, don't try to come get me. I'm not coming. Stop going. And I think it was like when I moved schools, she started doing online churching. So like she'd do it in the church, but she also had like a stream, and she's streaming on Facebook. And I don't know why, but I caught one randomly. I was like, listen, what up in this motherfucker? Yeah. And she was talking, and she was like, it's random too. I don't know. And like I said, this is what I'm about, like God for me. God will make me see things that I don't think I'm going to see, or like it'll be random, like, what's this? And I'll go look at it and I'll see something really funny, something that I wouldn't expect to see coming from certain people or doing certain things.
Yeah.
But the pastor was speaking and she was like, if there's anybody on my staff right now who hates gay people, I'm going to need you to step down. I was like, what the fuck? It was weird because for somebody who was so like nah, fuck gay people. That Obama doing it just for the vote. So this is like shit that she was saying.
Yeah.
Obama vote, like all this type of shit. And I was like, I'm leaving this bitch. They got me fucked up. To like a year or two later, after Obama was president for like 2 years, she was like, anybody who hates gay people, you got to step off my thing because we need. I realized how hateful I was being. That's the first time I've heard a Christian say that ever. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Say I was so hateful. I was so rude to people who were just trying to believe. And guess what? That dude was there. I was telling you about. He was in the audience there. He was still going to that church, even though they were talking shit about him that entire time. They said anybody who hates gay people, I'm gonna let you know right now. You might as well just get out because I'm accepting love here now. I realized my mistakes, and I'm gonna try to make them better now going forward. I can't make up for the stuff I did back then, but I can change now. That's the first time I've seen an old school generation person come out. I don't know if it's because her daughter was gay. Cause I'm pretty sure her daughter. I'm not sure though. I ain't gonna be putting that out there, and that's not true. But to have someone from the old generation flip around and change ideals is huge. But new generation is gonna be the cake. If we want any type of good Christians out there, because again, I don't see myself as a Christian, but I'm focusing Christians directly because they're I feel like the biggest bullies out there right now.
Yeah. Without a doubt,
everywhere,
the biggest.
Like the biggest bullies.
Even like I think like even the Catholics, Jews, and Muslims are like, yo, Christians, chill. We're all from the same book, but you gotta chill.
Yeah, facts. It's funny because God was Jewish.
Yeah.
But that's not. Never mind. Let's just. We're done. No, we're done.
Well, last thing that's funny, I wanted to throw it out there. Jesus was born in the Middle East, but he's white. You know, he's just white. He's white.
No, he's black.
He's black as fuck.
Do not get me started. This man is brown. You can't tell me this.
People out here like giving him like brown hair and like blue eyes and the palest skin.
Brown skin, brown eyes. Was probably some nappy ass hair.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. That nigga was black, 100% brown. If he had silky hair, it's from his Jewish side. Other than that, this man was brown. I hate.
Oh God, hey yo, let me reach in time real quick. Get this fucking hair presser real quick. Bring it over here.
Get the presser. Get some bleach, please. Nah, he pulled a Michael Jackson if that's what we're talking about. Cause hell no, man's was black, bro.
Yeah,
100%. He was brown. I will rep that to the day I die. This man was brown. You believe in a brown man. I hate seeing white Jesus. I'm sitting there like, where do you get this from? You read that in the book. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. This was our talk on religion. We've been having so much fun with these. I do want to say that real quick.
Yeah.
We've been having so much fun with these. Like, I think we're having a little bit too much fun because, like, every time I think of an idea, I want to do it, like, right away. Instead of being like, we got time. It's like, nah, let's just bust these out. So if you guys want to see more content from us, check out our link tree. It'll be below. Check out our personal channel. They'll also be below, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And come to the next one, man. We're having fun. I'm telling you, this is good.
Oh, yeah. Of course, leave a comment. Any ideas, questions, advice you want to give, we're more than open to it. And this was episode 6. See you in 7. Deuces.
Peace.